Good afternoon from Seattle, Washington State, USA. I am Pico Theavy Maniputao, right now live from Wat Camera Botiram in the state of Washington. First of all, let me pay homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, and Maharaya Sangha. And I would like to pay respect to all Venerable monks, especially Venerable Mangalajotao Soeurng Vuthy, who lies from Wat Ram, San Jose, California, who will be the speaker for today's Dhamma talk. Of course, we have another Dhamma speaker, but probably he might be coming or not coming. I'm not sure. So anyway, today it is a great honor to come back to the discussion in the Dhamma talk today with the topic of Introduction to Buddhism Day 3. Of course, we have already discussed the introduction to Buddhism, 2 topics already, but I think we have not covered everything about the introduction to Buddhism as yet. That is why it is important to conduct the 3rd Dhamma talk, which discussed about the introduction to Buddhism, because we want to approach from different angles so that we all can study analytically concerning with the teachings of the Buddha in various ways, in various fields. So right now, without wasting any more time, let me start by asking Venerable Soeurng Vuthy, who is joining with us today as the Dhamma speaker. So Venerable Soeurng Vuthy, how are you doing? And how is everything in at your temple?
And I'm doing fine, and you know, as in the situation of COVID-19, our temple, as far as other temple in the United States, is facing the same situation. Not so many people come, and when we celebrate any religious ceremony, we are not allowed a lot of people to enter our cell monks quarter, just a few, in order to avoid the spreading of coronavirus. And so we do everything right now very carefully, yeah, so that we can avoid the danger of our pandemic disease.
Yeah, thank you, Bante. It's good to take care of ourselves during this time of breakout of COVID that threatening the life of many in the whole world. So today we are going to discuss about the introduction to Buddhism, and I also would like to inform that this program brought to you by the Cambodian Buddhist Monk Society in USA, presided over by Most Venerable Prehati Muni Bangsang, the abbot of Wat Muni Sitaram in the state of Minnesota, USA. So our program aims at promoting or propagating the Buddha's teaching, especially for those who do not understand Khmer language. So hopefully this program will bring knowledge and understanding into Buddhism more for our people, especially the youths. So let me begin by asking the first question about the Dhamma. So far we have learned the Dhamma, we have practiced the Dhamma, and a lot of people talking about the Dhamma, but to some extent people may not understand in depth or in the correct way that what truly is the Dhamma. So Venerable, can you elaborate a little bit, just the whole idea of what the Dhamma is? Thank you.
Thank you for this question, Bante Theavy. I think this question is really good, and also it has broad meaning. Yeah. And first of all, before answering this question, I would like to pay homage to the Triple Gem, that is the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. And I also would like to pay respect to all venerable monks, both in Cambodia and also abroad. And also would like to say thank you to all audience who always follow us and listen to our programs. And dealing with the question that Venerable Vuthy, Theavy asked me, what is the Dhamma? You know, the Dhamma is something found by the Buddha. Actually, Dhamma is natural law, exists in the nature, but before no one finds the Dhamma or the truth or the doctrine. Dhamma already exists in nature, but no one can find it, you know. No one could see it. Only when the Buddha appeared in the world and he practiced until he realized the truth, then he can find the Dhamma. Yeah. The Dhamma means upholds. It means upholds living beings or all sentient beings not to fall into the woeful abode. So those who follow or practice the Dhamma, they will not go to Abhaya or woeful abode. And the Dhamma never disappear in this world. Yeah. Even though the Buddha passed away, the teaching of the Buddha, that is the Dhamma, will not pass away along with the Buddha. It always exists, you know. But as long as many Buddha pass away, they are the next generation Buddha. When they got or they attain enlightenment again, they will reveal the same Dhamma or the same universal law to the world. So in brief, we can say that Dhamma or the truth or the doctrines taught by the Buddha is natural law. It always exists in the nature. And when the Buddha attained enlightenment, he just revealed that Dhamma that is not seen by others, living beings, so that they can have eye to see, have ear to listen, and to understand like that. So Dhamma
Yeah,
is
thank you,
natural law.
Bante. Yeah,
Yeah.
for elaborating the question of what is Dhamma. So as you have mentioned that there are many terms we can define the word Dhamma. There are different meanings to that, but you have pointed out about the Dhamma is the truth, is the natural law. The Dhamma is the doctrine of the Buddha. The Dhamma in the sense that upholds the living beings from going down, you know, from the woeful abodes or from doing wrongs, etc. So in the teaching of the Buddha, we see a lot of Dhamma which has been taught by the Buddha, including the Dhamma which are good and the Dhamma which are bad, or what we call wholesome, unwholesome, or neutral. So what is your explanation on that? You know, in terms of category of the Dhamma, how many types of Dhamma we can classify on there?
In brief, you can classify Dhamma as wholesome Dhamma, like you just mentioned, and unwholesome Dhamma mean Kosala Dhamma, and Kosala Dhamma mean wholesome and unwholesome Dhamma, like that. And for wholesome Dhamma, we just learn and practice according to the 10 course of action. We call 10 course of wholesome action. We call Kosala Kamma. Means avoid to taking life or to take life of living beings. Avoid to steal the property, and avoid to have sexual misconduct, and avoid to telling lies, and avoid to take intoxicants. That is the actions performed by bodily. action. And to avoid the bad action through our speech, and we just do action that is good through our verbal action, to speak the truth, not speak the harsh word, not abuse other living beings. Yeah. And also we need to avoid to do like to think about ill will or hatreds, or think about the greed that is harmful to ourselves. That is called 10 causes of wholesome action, but I cannot mention step by step very well. I just mentioned brief, maybe like some point, but you can add it. Yeah. And for unwholesome dhamma, we can say briefly that is the unwholesome root, that is immoral thought we call greed, hatred, and delusion. Yeah, greed means lopa, and hatred dosa, and delusion is moha. That is the root cause of dhamma, akusala dhamma. Yeah, and we need to avoid this three kind of dhamma if we want to be good Buddhist.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante, for answering this question. I believe a lot of people have learned and practiced the Dhamma, but sometimes when it comes to, like, what are the wholesome Dhamma, what are the unwholesome Dhamma, just like you mentioned that unwholesome or evil Dhamma that needs to be abandoned, needs to be get rid of, but the wholesome Dhamma, Kusala Dhamma, needs to be practiced by all of us. So adding to that, as we know that there might be a broad idea concerning with this term of Dhamma that the Buddha has expounded in so many places in various suttas about the term Dhamma that has been described numerously. So how do you define thing which is bad or good in terms of the teaching of Buddhism? How do you know that this thing is bad and should be avoided, this thing is good, should be practiced? Is there any recommendation that you learn from the teaching of the Buddha that we can understand what is bad and good one day?
Yes, it's easy to understand, we can know what is bad because it cause is bad. If we know that the cause is bad, the result also will be bad. Like some action that we perform and bring the bad result to us, we can know that or consider that that is a bad, and we should not avoid it. For example, in the case of 5 precepts, the Buddha mentioned, and this also moral precept appear before the Buddha even got enlightenment. Like stealing other, you don't know that is good thing or bad thing to do. Actually, stealing other is a bad thing to do. We should not do it. And killing is also, we should know, killing is not good. We should not do it. Telling lie also not good. We should not do it. And taking alcohol or drinking alcohol is also not good. So this action we should not perform. No need to tell by the Buddha. We don't wait to be told by the Buddha. We can know that. For example, if you steal other property, if they catch you, they will beat you, put you into the jail like that. So that is a result of your bad action because of your stealing like that. And good, we can know what is good through seeing the cause also. If the cause is good, the effect or result also will be good. And I just want to mention that some people, they don't know what is really good and what is really bad. But I just want to mention as earlier that I have spoken in the previous program. I want to refer to the one sutta that is founded by the Buddha. It is called Rahul Novata Sutta. In this sutta, the Buddha mentioned and prayed to his son, that is Rahula, to make his son know what is good and what is bad. Then the Buddha said that if any action you perform it and bring bad result to you and bring good result to other, you should not do it because it is not good thing to do. And if any action that you do and bring happiness, a good result to you, but bring suffering and bad result to other, you also should not do it because it's not good yet. And he said, if any action that you do, it bring good result to you or bring happiness to you and bring good result to other and bring happiness to other, this kind of action you should perform it because it is really a good action that should be performed or should be done. So in brief, we can know that the good thing, a good action, that is the action that we perform, but bring both good result to the doer and the recipient. Like that.
Thank you, Bhante. Yeah. So it is very interesting that you have pointed out or referred to the Rahulovada Sutta, the discourse the Buddha expounded advice to his previous son about what is bad, what is good. So as you mentioned, I think I remember from the Kalama Sutta also, where the Buddha expounded similarly in the same way to the people of Kalama, that don't go by hearsays and rumors, don't just go by tradition and culture, what has been handed down from one generation to another, or by just belief your teacher or the samana, whatsoever. You have your own logical reasoning to define what is bad and good. So the Buddha in that sutta, he verified that things when one performed leads to harm for oneself and for others, which has no benefit for oneself and for others, that thing is bad and you should avoid it. But things when you do it, it is conducive to happiness and benefit for oneself and for others, you should do it, and that is kusala. So I think that is very important idea when we talk about the dhamma, especially a kusala dhamma that needs to be abandoned, and the kusala dhamma, wholesome, needs to be practiced. And I think similarly in the Vajjagoda Sutta, the Buddha expounded to a Brahmana by the name of Vajjagoda. He expounded about the 5 precepts. He said, Vajjagoda, Panatipata, killing living beings, is a kusala dhamma. It is unwholesome. It is evil dhamma. And then stealing, also a kusala. And then sexual misconduct, kame subachachara, is also a kusala dhamma. And then musavada, committing or telling lies. And then taking intoxicated drinks or alcoholic drinks and drugs. This is also a kusala dhamma that you need to avoid it. So by refraining, by not doing all these 5 wrong actions, it is called the kusala dhamma, the good, wholesome dhamma that we should all practice that, because it will lead to peace and happiness. So I think this is a very crucial point that there are a lot of Dhamma that the Buddha taught. So where to start to practice, where do I start with my practice? So there's a lot of theories and teaching. That is why in this program, we would like to just kind of, indicate some of the teaching that we can all apply to our daily life. So further, I would like to raise another question to Venerable Soeurng Vuthy in terms of the belief of our Buddhists. Of course, in terms of the teaching of the Buddha, there is no, difference between the teaching that the Buddha expounded. It is all, it is common to all of us, no matter where we live, no matter what culture we have or what language we follow, we speak. But the essence of the Buddha's teaching remain the same. And so what exactly does Buddhists believe? Like, do we believe in what we do, or do we do what we believe in the cause and effect, or any main idea in the teachings of the Buddha that you can recommend about, in terms of what Buddhists believe on there?
Okay, thank you so much for this question, Mande. It is a really good question that you ask. What Buddhists believe, actually, Buddhists believe nothing. But for Buddhist follower, they should believe in action and its result. And also they should believe in the triple gems, that is the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Especially to be true Buddhists, they have to believe in action, karma, and result of creation, phala. That is the main thing. Other kind of belief, that is beliefs lack of understanding or wisdom, then it should not be included as belief in Buddhism. But in Buddhism, the Buddha taught us to believe only in our action and the result of action that we have done. That is good things. He can give simple example that if you do good, you will get good result. If you do bad, there is you will get bad result because of your bad action, like that. And I like one saying of President of the United States. He also said that when I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That is my religion. This is a words spoken by Abraham Lincoln. He said like that. It's not according to the Buddha, not different from the Buddha advice that he mentioned. Do good, we get good result. Do bad, we get bad result. The same thing, actually.
So we do not believe in God, right? Like there are some God who make us this or make us that,
Actually, Buddhists do not reject the idea of God, but we have different idea or different interpretation about God. In Ratana Sutta, the Buddha also mentioned about millions of God, like in Ratana Sutta, you can read the Jani, the Buddha. But we have different idea or different interpretation about the word God, not God in Brahmanism or God in Christianity. It's a different interpretation.
Not, you refer to the creator God, right? Not in that idea.
It's not a kind of that God, but I don't want to mention this in detail. I think we will have the talk so later. I just want to talk back to our question, that is what Buddhists believe. In Buddhist, Buddhists believe in action, karma, and result, and believe in the triple chant, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Many people, they think that the Buddha said, do good, get good result, do bad, get bad result is wrong, because in reality, in human society, some people, they do good, but they get bad result. And some people, they do bad action, but they get very good result. Like they do bad action, but they become rich people like that, you know.
Why is it so? I think this question is very interesting and very,
Yeah.
touching to, especially I used to got such question from our Cambodian people. They said, oh, I do a lot of good deeds, but I always receive bad things, but when we look at some people, they're very corrupted. They do all the bad things, but they get a lot of money, so is there any reason behind that? Can you go a little bit detail on that, just to kind of, clarify the confusion of people in terms of the karma?
Yes, of course. According to the natural law of action, whatever cause that we have, we will also have the same result as the cause, you know. Like if if any action that we performs, we will have the same result as our action. It fit with the action that we have performed, you know. Yes. But sometimes people may understand that they do good, but they get bad result. Maybe something wrong in society. But according to the natural law of karma, it's very justice, you know. The law of karma is very justice. It is not bias or have partiality to any one side of the person. Because some person, when they perform good actions in the past, and they get bad results in this life, maybe it can be that just now I forgot, like I said, some person, they do good action in the present time, right? And they still
Yeah,
get bad result. That's why they
yeah,
are not satisfied with their
yeah.
good action.
I think
But
they looking
according,
for they
yeah, yeah,
looking for the present result. Like, okay, I do good, I will get
that's
good,
result.
like, yeah, in this present life.
Yeah, yeah. But according to Buddhist interpretation, that even though some people do some good action in this present life and they get bad result, the Buddha explained back to the previous life, you know. Maybe this kind of people, they have done a lot of bad deed in the previous life. That's why in this life, even though they try to do good things, but they still get bad result because of the karma in previous existence still have the opportunity to give result to him or her, you know. But if they try to do good more and more, the result of bad action or bad karma in the previous life, we have no chance to bear result for him or her. At the time, they will have time to enjoy the good result of the action that they are performing in the present time or present life. But you know, some people, they do only bad thing in the present life. In the contrary, they do only bad things in present life, but they get good result. Why? According to Buddhists, it's explained that this kind of person, they have done a lot of good deed in previous life or like in the past. That's why even though they are doing bad thing in the present time, they still get good result. Why? Because the result of good actions that they have performed um, in the previous life still have the opportunity to bear results for him or her. But this kind of person, when the good karma in the previous life is exhausted or finished, soon the bad result that they are performing or the bad action that uh, they are performing right now in this present time, we have a chance to bear result for him or her, and then they will suffer from their bad action. That is the law of Gamma. It's very justice. It never bear result different from the cause and action that we perform. But the law in society is bias. The
Yeah.
law in human society is bias. You can see the four partiality, yeah, in the human law or law in human worlds. Mostly it has four kind of partiality, like a partiality because of um,
The
love,
loved one. Yeah.
yeah, partiality because of hate, partiality because of um,
Fear. Yeah.
fear, and partiality because of ignorance.
Mm.
Yes, the law in human world mostly have this kind of partiality. Sometimes even though you do good action, but if your opponents they want to do something against you, they can accuse you that you are not good, you are a wrong person, and then you become the loser
Mhm.
and they become the winner because uh, the judge person maybe their relative, so they take side from their relative and allow you to lose the case like that. So
So you're trying
right,
to
yeah,
prove
the
that
yeah,
the cause, whatever the cause is, the result also will be the same, right? Like what a man does, that shall also be reaped. But
yeah,
in terms of, the ripening, the result of the karma that can be resulted, it is, inevitable, and it is not certain. In this case, I remember the Buddha expounded that four things which should not be thought. We should not think about the four things, like the result, the effect of the karma, how the karma bear result. It is not in the field of worldly beings to know
yeah,
when or where and how the karma will bear result. So that's why, as you mentioned, that when we do good in this present life, it is not sure that we will get the immediate result, but there are some type of karma that can bear result. We can witness in this present life, but sometimes the result of karma that we do, it will produce the result life after life, in the samsara vada. So it is not sure. So
yeah,
we can come to conclusion that karma is not by us. Whatever we do, we will get that result. It just matter in a matter of time.
yeah,
The happening, the stages of bearing result is somewhat unthinkable. We cannot think about that. We don't know how the karma will bear result, in what existence we will get that. But one thing we know for sure, that whatever we do, we will get that. This is the natural law. Nobody can reject it. Nobody
yeah,
can protect it from happening. It must be happen in the way, in relation with the cause. That is why it is called the theory of cause and effect. And I think it comes to the same question that we were discussing, that as Buddhists, we believe in karma, in the cause and effect. Even in the society of Cambodia, it has been, like passed down this idea from one generation to another, that if we do bad, we get bad. If we do good, we get good. Yet there are some people still misunderstanding in terms of how the karma bear result, because when they try to do good one or two times or a few times in this present life, and then they don't get like a satisfied result uh, due to what they have done in the present. They started to to get upset. Oh, I do good, I try to do good, but I never get good. A lot of people accuse me of this. They blame me on this matter. I face this hardship and so, you know. So like you have mentioned that we're not born just in this existence, you know. We have been born, you know, countless life in the past.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we have done in the many previous life. Sometimes we do a lot of bad actions. So even this present life, of course, it is good when we try to be good. We try not to harm others, not to steal, not to lie, and so on. So whatever we experience in this present life, it is due to the cause from the previous life, because the life in the present is not disconnected from the life in the past, nor in the future. You know, it is correlated with one another. You know, it's like in the theory of dependent origination. You know, cause, condition, another effect, and effect become the cause, something like that. So just like what we have for eating nowadays, it is the result from the previous action, you know, of the previous time. It is not happen just today. That's why whatever we receive today, no matter if bad experience or good experience, it must comes from the previous seed that we have sown, you know. So I think this is the law of karma, the natural law. It is not biased. It is common to all, and it works in the same way for everybody without any discrimination whatsoever. So anyway, I want to come to another question, which in relation to this question as well. As Buddhists, we have practice in you know, in many different ways, in the hope that we can receive good, we can receive blessing from the Buddha, you know, or we can get good result by doing good, you know. But how to be a good Buddhist, you know, if as we know that we are Buddhists, and most of Cambodian people, they claim themselves as Buddhists. But what are some good practices in order to be a good Buddhist? Is there any form? Is there any initial ceremony to be a good Buddhist? Or what are the practice that one should be practiced in order to be a good Buddhist one day?
Yes, thank you for this question. Actually, to be a good Buddhist, first we need to have faith in the triple gems, or take refuge in the triple gem, right? And second, we need to believe in karma and the result, just we have mentioned just now. And also, we need to do good deed by doing charity, to relieve suffering of the people, and teach people the way how to do good deed, and tell them the way that is go to heaven and the way that is wrong. And if anyone perform or do that way, they will go to woeful abode like that. So they should know which way is good and which way is bad. And also, people need to observe moral precept if they are Buddhists. They follow the advice of the Buddha. If anyone do not follow the advice of the Buddha, they are not Buddhists, you know, actually. But some people, even though they are not Buddhists, but they believe or follow the teaching of the Buddha, they also can consider as Buddha disciple, or like a Buddhist also. But they don't have label. They don't label themselves as a Buddhist, but they follow advice of the Buddha. So in order to be good Buddhist, you need to follow the advice of the Buddha. That is the most important thing. Like one sutta, the Buddha said that even some person who sit very close to me and take my role, but if they don't follow my advice or practice what I have taught, that disciple or person are considered as far away from me, not close to me. But some kind of disciple or people who sit or live very far from me, but they follow my advice, study my teaching, and practice it in daily life, then those kind of people consider as my disciple, and they sit very close to me like that. So the most important thing the Buddha want is to let the people or disciple to follow his advice. So those who follow his advice is called true Buddhists or good Buddhists, I think.
So Bhante, can we say that those who go to the temple consider good Buddhists or not? Because some people, they never been to the temple at all, but they do practice the teaching of Buddhism, or sometimes they don't even name themselves or label themselves as Buddhist or whatsoever.
Actually, to be a Buddhist, not just necessary to go to the temple. They can practice Buddhist way even in the restaurant, on the street, and so on. No need to just come to the temple and say that I am a good Buddhist. Actually, if we say Buddhist, we have two kind of Buddhists. One is called traditional Buddhist, you know. Traditional Buddhist is the person who follow the tradition of their parents, grandparents, like that. If their parents and their grandparents are Buddhist, and then when they are born in that family, they believe the same thing, that is Buddhism. So they also call themselves as a Buddhist, yeah, Buddhist born mind. Even though they don't understand the teaching of the Buddha, but they claim themselves as a Buddhist, even though they don't understand the teaching of the Buddha or the Dhamma.
So is it like relate with the blind faith, you know, when it comes to believe in the teachings of the Buddha and practice according to what the Buddha taught? Is it different that people who claim themselves as Buddhists, but they don't really understand the teaching of the Buddha? Is it related to the blind faith? You know, because when we talk about what Buddhists believe, and to be a good Buddhist, sometimes people may have you know, a wrong belief or a blind belief, so they don't practice correctly according to what the Buddha taught. What can you say about that, Ande?
Yes, it's easy to understand. As I have mentioned earlier, um, right now, to be a good Buddhist or true Buddhist must avoid superstitious belief. Yeah, they must avoid superstitious belief or avoid wrong belief, and they must have belief according by wisdom. Yeah, any belief or any faith that is not included in wisdom are not considered as Buddhist belief. It's something else, you know.
It must go with wisdom, right
Yeah.
understanding.
Understanding and belief must accompanied by wisdom. Otherwise, it's not good. Yeah.
Like some people, they said, oh, I believe in the Buddha, I believe in the Dhamma, I believe in the Sangha, but when they go to the temple, they
They
try to
pray.
ask the Buddha, they pray for this and that. So is it that a right belief, or a blind faith kind of, you know, wrong belief?
Yeah. It's still wrong belief, you know, because the Buddha taught us to believe in action and result of action, or taught us to believe in the cause and effects, not to believe on just brains, you know. The Buddha said just mere brains cannot get anything. Brains can get something only when we are praying and we have done something, you know.
So that means Buddha cannot give a blessing, or
Yeah,
what we pray, like it's not here to the, it is not here to the Buddha, you know. Is it so, you know, when we say, okay, take refuge in the Buddha, or take the Buddha as a refuge, or take the Dharma and Sangha as a refuge. Sometimes people still get confused with this idea that they have to rely on the Buddha to gain liberation or blessing. So how is it work?
According to Buddhism, to make our wish accomplish or to make our wish achieve, we need to do something. For example, today you have done good deed with the monk, or like giving charity or offering food to the monk, and then you pray for happiness here and hereafter. So your praying or your wish must be accompanied with your intention and your action. Yeah. If you do good deed and you wish for good results next life, surely you can get it, because you are not just praying, or you are not just mere wish, but you do something and then you wish. So it can work. But if you just have mere wish or mere praying to get something and you did not do anything, you will not get anything. Just by praying or wishing simply without doing anything, you will never get any results. Yeah. The Buddha said, our wish and our prayings can be achieved or bring result to us only when we perform any action and make a wish according to that. So it will help us to attain what we want or to get what we want. So not just by praying or wishing, by doing that, we bring nothing to us. As many people, they go to temple and they make pray to the Buddha image to have them to win lotteries or to win 10 number like that. And if they do not win the lottery and win that number, they say, oh, the Buddha did not help them. Actually, the Buddha did not take us to play that kind of game, because it's not good.
Yeah.
And even though they do good deed and they wish to win the lottery or something, it's the wrong way also. Not good. Yeah.
So in summary, what are some practices in order to be a good Buddhist, according to the teaching of the Buddha? What are some practices we should practice in order to be called as a true or good Buddhist?
Yes, like I mentioned, we need to have faith in triple gems. We need to observe morality, and we need to do good deed. And also we need to follow the advice of the Buddha. This are considered as good Buddhists.
Yeah,
And
Bhante,
they need
thanks.
to avoid to do bad action as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember from the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha expounded to Ananda that after his demise, his passing away, what remains to be the teacher of all disciples is his teaching, his Dhamma. So those who would like to see me, they should practice the Dhamma. So the Buddha said, Yo Dhammang Pasati, so Mang Pasati, right? Like those who see the Dhamma, see me, right? So that means the Buddha really encourage the disciples to practice what he has taught, throughout his 45 years missionary work. But if as followers, we did not practice his teaching, that is not considered good Buddhist. That just like you classify that there are different types of Buddhists. In short, traditional Buddhists and practical Buddhists. Some people, they just believe in Buddhism, or they call themselves as a Buddhist simply because of the tradition, from their family, from their parents or grandparents. So they just practice that, follow that, okay, do not do bad, try to do good, and go to the temple, observe the precept, practice meditation. But sometimes they don't really understand or
Yeah.
apply any teaching into daily life, and that is, you know, some thing that is what we call shortcoming, you know, in our practice. But on the other hand, there is another type of Buddhist which is called practical Buddhists. They sometimes they don't even call themselves as Buddhists, but they try to follow what the Buddha taught, especially the, you know, the Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, right? They try to do charity, you know, open-minded, and, you know, perform all the generosity and observe moral precepts, and then develop meditation, mental culture, and so on. So this consider good Buddhist when we follow the teaching of our master, you know, practice the teaching of the master. That is why we can see in the country like America, even some people, they don't claim themselves as Buddhists, but 5 precepts, I believe that they have the 5 precepts. You know, they do not have intention to harm or kill any other living beings. They don't take what is not given. They don't commit sexual misconduct or telling lies, or, you know, take alcohol, or, you know, intoxicated drinks, and so on. So I think this is a good idea that we should consider. We should keep in mind that to be good Buddhist, there is no any form, there is no any, you know, complicated ceremony to be followed or practiced. You know, by just learning what the Buddha taught and try to apply what the Buddha taught into daily life, and that you can gain, you can experience the benefit of following the Buddha's teaching, both in this present life and in the life after as well. But nowadays, a lot of us are following Buddhism just simply because of the tradition from our family or generation to generation. But it is important to understand in depth the true meaning of the Buddha teaching, the Buddha's teaching, and that way we can become good Buddhists. So without proper learning, what we call pariyati, without proper practicing padipati, we will not get, you know, the realization, padiveta. So this is the 3 main, what we call the 3 main beauty of the Buddha's teaching that comes one after another. So anyway, I think we have talked so far around the topic of introduction to Buddhism day 3, but let me give Venerable Vuthy the you know, the last message for today's topic concerning what we have covered about what the Dharma is, and what do Buddhists believe, and how to become a good Buddhist. Do you have anything to say, just like, you know, like a takeaway message for our audience one day? Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to let the audience to understand that what is Dhamma. Actually, Dhamma is natural law. It always exists in the nature, and it upholds human being not to fall into the woeful abode. And the essence of the Dhamma is to relieve us from suffering and to gain enlightenment. If we follow the Buddha step, and to be a Buddhist, we have to believe in karma and its results, take refuge in the triple chants, and follow the advice of the Buddha. And to be good Buddhist, and something that we have mentioned, like to do good deed, and not just by going to the temple without doing anything, but we need to learn the teaching of the Buddha and apply what we have learned in our daily life to gain peace and happiness, or both life here and hereafter. So I think the main thing to be a real Buddhist, we need to study the teaching of the Buddha and apply it in our daily life. Yeah. That is a real Buddhist. If we just call ourselves as a Buddhist, but we go to temple, just do the charity and offering food to the monk, or join any religious ceremony at the temple, without understanding the essence of Buddhism or the teaching of the Buddha, you know, it's not good for us. It is a kind of traditional Buddhist. For example, in our country, we have a lot of this kind of Buddhists. I mean, we have a lot of traditional Buddhists. Not many people understand the teaching of the Buddha, but I just want to mention that those who understand the teaching of the Buddha, I can call them as a true Buddhist or good Buddhist and practice according to what they have known. They are called true Buddhists or good Buddhists. So if you want to be good Buddhist, you need to do like that. You don't just let the book, Tripitaka book, just keep in the bookcase and without studying anything. So Dhamma will not help us. If we don't study the Dhamma and we don't practice the Dhamma, how can the Dhamma help us not to fall into the four abode or four woeful abode like that? So I just want to send briefly like that. I don't have no more idea.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pante, for very great discussion in today's Dhamma talk concerning with the topic Introduction to Buddhism 3. So to wrap up this discussion, I would not spend more time to, recap everything, but just to say a few words that Venerable has already included in detail that, to be a Buddhist is not enough, but a good Buddhist. So to be a good Buddhist, one must study and, put what we have learned into our practice on a daily basis there, and then we can gain the benefit for ourselves and for the society at large. We can see the, the present benefit of practicing the Dhamma. Without proper learning and practicing, we will not get the good result. So we don't blame Buddhism simply because we do not practice, we do not learn what the true essence of the Buddha's teaching. That way we cannot become a good Buddhist. So our recommendation throughout this slideshow is that we should try to learn the pariyatti, learn what the Buddha taught, and then try to apply what we have learned into our daily life. So we will be blessed by our good conduct. No one else will give us blessing, but our own action. That is what Buddhists believe. Buddhists believe in the action. What we do, we will get that. So the teaching of the Buddha, what we call is the Dhamma, is the way leading us to liberation from suffering physically and mentally. So by learning the Buddha's teaching, apply it into the daily life, we try to get away from suffering. That way, we're not just only Buddhists, but we become good Buddhists when we truly follow the teaching of the Buddha, as what the Buddha has expounded, that those who honor me, those who venerate me, venerate the Dhamma. If you want to see me, you practice the Dhamma. Those who practice the Dhamma will see the Tathagata. So that is the end of the show. But before ending, I would like to thank you again for Venerable Mangalachuto Soeurng Vuthy, who resides in Wat Camararam, San Jose, California, for spending time to share the knowledge of Dhamma. And again, thank you, Most Venerable Theavy, the abbot of Wat Buddhasasana in the state of Minnesota, USA. Also all venerable monks and audience who are watching the live show of the Buddhasasana program of the Cambodian Buddhist Monk Society in USA. I hope that we all learn something from this Dhamma discussion, and also would like to share merit with all living beings in this whole universe by the power of our Dhammatana, the gift, the contribution of Dhamma to the world. May all be blessed with peace and happiness, be healthy, wealthy, and prosperous. May Dhamma spread, everywhere in the world, and may all be happy and peaceful. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye for today.